The Raiders gave away a game that they really should have won.
Here's Shin Kerr, an 18-foot jump shot, no good. Loose ball, and it belongs to Loyola. Bailey will spot up a three, knock it down.
Boy, that's a freebie right there. Boy, you got to be tougher with the ball. Israel got to keep the basketball up and be strong with it.
David Bailey puts the Ramblers back in the lead. It's 5-4. May works inside, taken away again to Shin Kerr. Here's Bailey in a hurry.
Boy, you can really see the athleticism from the guard position. Larry Farmer's got some guys who can get up and down the floor. They handle the basketball very well. Assist to turnover ratio for this team is right about even at 1.
Curl works to the lane, and it's now 7-4.
The Raiders better get something going here, because to look on Ed Schilling's face, you don't want to be next to him on that sideline.
5-0 run put up by Loyola. There's Melson in the paint. Hook shot off the glass, counted.
Brad Tice just laying against the basket. Support, he can't believe it. But Kevin Melson, boy, what a shot right there. Goes up, takes the contact, gets the ball to go off the glass. We'll get a chance to see it again. Kevin taking it right to the glass. And he raises up. You see the wingspan. Nice little kiss off the glass.
And that's too quick on Brad Tice. When to come back in, Silvio Turkovic, 6'9" sophomore out of the Trojer, Croatia, as Tice will come out.
Brad Tice getting in early foul trouble, and that's what you like to see. Raiders miss another free throw early in the game. Raiders extend their defense, try to apply some pressure, slow these Ramblers. Just pushing the ball up the floor in transition.
Oh, Bailey very smooth, kicks it out. Brown, a 3 ball, that's no good. Nelson wants to run. Here's May, driving baseline, lost the handle. Wright State ball. We have a timeout on the floor with 14:37 remaining here in this first half. The Ramblers lead it by 1, 7-6. One-point ball game, and Wright State so far just behind by 1, and it's been kind of touch and go back and forth so far. However, the early 5-0 run by Loyola to put them in the lead.
Well, and the Raiders have had some pretty good looks at the basket. Israel a couple times couldn't get the shots to go, but the Raiders doing a nice job defensively, controlling Loyola, not letting them get up and down in transition, and then being able to get back to the perimeter three-point shooters. In the first game between these two, Loyola made 10 out of 24 three-pointers as opposed to the Raiders 3 out of 7. So they can shoot it from behind the arc. The Raiders doing a nice job defensively early in this ballgame.
The entry coming up. Marcus the trigger. He has to go way up high, and it's taken away. Here's Brown in the paint, slipped in the paint. Goes to Bailey. Double team. He sends it to Parker. And no good. Bruno Peterson's the loose ball and gets it in the hands of Melson.
Well, great job by Bruno that time. Didn't block the shot. He just contested it very, very hard. Boy, when you get the big guy in the game, that's all you can ask for.
Bruno in there for the first time. 7 foot tall, a junior out of Warrenville, Illinois. May handles on the baseline. Bills works it up top. May with 10 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. Bills will have to throw up a 3, and it leaves it short. Loose ball belongs to Bailey of Loyola. Up ahead, Parker in the paint, and count it.
Well, that's where you don't want to be. Loyola did a great job defensively. They turned that basket into a transition game strictly out of playing great defense at the other end. And then here you see coming in transition with the speed and quickness that they have, and able to finish in the break.
Marcus May will pick up the personal. Just as soon as Bruno Peterson comes into the ballgame, he comes out. Sheinfeld back in his stead. Completes the three-point play. Does Jarrell Parker, the 6'4" freshman out of Chicago. 10-6 in favor of Loyola.
Raiders really need to establish something inside here. Great catch that time. Pretty lucky that they got that pass in there. a lot of hands, but two of the biggest hands in there belong to Kevin Melson, and he gobbles it up.
Sure, and Shin Kerr picks up the first, or his first. Bills to throw in. Here's May. A three ball on the way. No good. Sheinfeld the rebound.
Good decision by Israel that time. On the board, falling away.
Another three, and he knocked it down.
Boy, Marcus had a couple tough games. Little bout with the flu. Boy, nice to see him get untracked and get a nice little shooter's roll.
It wasn't pretty, but it counts. Here's Kerr driving. Goes to Brown, fell down. Kerr tied up. No, a holding call. They will call Thomas Hope on the personal.
Well, Larry Farmer across the floor points at the floor and says, what's going on with this? I mean, this player's slipping all over the floor, but boy, when you got quickness like that, boy, oh boy. Raiders a little too aggressive. Thomas Hope reaching over the back, commits the personal foul.
Bailey works against May and sends it out to Brown. Turkovic, open 18-foot jump shot, leaves it short.
Great rebound by Marcus.
Here's May in the paint, goes to Melson, lays it in.
Well, good things happen when you run the floor. And when you got a point guard like Marcus May who'll get you the basketball and sees the court so very, very well. Kevin Melson, a beneficiary of a big assist.
Kerr misses the three. Saved by Loyola. Brown will handle, fresh shot clock. Bailey gets a screen, will launch a three of his own, knock it down.
Boy, David Bailey, good looking freshman. 5'8" freshman out of Chicago. Larry Farmer's got a nice looking point guard for the future right there.
The lead changes hands once again, 13-11 in favor of the Ramblers. Ball worked in, Melson no good, but a foul.
This is probably the most active offensively I've seen Kevin Melson in a long time. He's notorious for early in the ball game, kind of letting the game come to him, but here we'll get a chance to see how the ball game is going right to Kevin Melson. Boy, you get him on a block like that, Raiders with probably the two best finishers in the conference when you get them down on a block in Israel and Kevin Melson. Kevin finishes the first of two from the free throw line.
And here comes the senior, Steve Diego into the ball game, the 6'4" senior out of Minford. Also in Damian McSwan for Loyola, 6'5" senior out of Detroit, Michigan. And the crowd very appreciative of the efforts of Steve Diego. Practice in, out, game in, game out.
Well, I'm checking into the game for the Loyola Ramblers, Damian McSwan. Very athletic player. He's hurt the Raiders in the past. They're going to have to be able to find him on the floor. He's a good player.
Crowd wants to travel on Parker. Parker gets it back against Diego. Swine gets a touch. Bailey thinks three. Now he'll trigger a three. Knock it down. From 25 feet away. That's NBA material there.
Wow, you know, you're talking probably one of the better freshmen in the conference. I mean, this kid can play, and he's only 5'8", able to get the shot off.
Ball still in place, saved by Parker. Gives to Bailey. Oh, a fine hesitation move. Swings this one up and gets the kiss.
Boy, somebody's going to have to put a little something on David Bailey. They're going to have to get in his body a little bit. Everything's coming too easy.
Melson, a pull-up off the window and count
it. Kevin Melson now with 8 points. Early in this game, Tyson Freeman checks in for Joe Bills. And we're going to have a nice little matchup right here. Tyson Freeman, David Bailey.
That's 2 on Jarrell Parker. 16 fouls now against Loyola.
Kevin Melson at the line shooting 1.
That's 9 points for Kevin Melson. We have a timeout on the floor. 10:54 remaining 18 here in half number 1. Ramblers continue to lead, and we'll be back in just a moment. To 16 in favor of Loyola. And boy, Mark Vest, David Bailey has been amazing.
Well, you know, he's coming tonight. He's really got on track offensively. You can just see the confidence on his face. So very, very quick with the basketball. Gets up the floor. Boy, a couple circus shots early in this game. He leads all scorers with 11 points. The last time these two teams played, he scored 6, so he's doubled his output already. Boy, Tyson Freeman, who just checked into the ball game, is really going to have to put some heat on David Bailey. They got to shut him down.
Freeman, the 5'11 sophomore out of Toledo. The defensive specialist, if you will, on this Wright State Raider ball club. Ball is worked into McSwine.
Raiders extend their defense, go 1-2-2. And boy, when you got somebody with the quickness of Tyson Freeman out on the point, that's a very, very difficult defense to break.
Bailey works to Brown in turn. It's one thrown away. Melson trying to chase it down, going one-on-one to the hoop, and we have a foul. Earl Brown prevented the circus shot. Melson comes up a bit gimpy.
Well, hopefully Kevin's all right. He took the shot, and probably the worst thing that happened is he didn't go down. It's almost like his shoes caught. It's like getting your cleats caught in the turf. And there you see it again right there, and just kind of spun him sideways. Well, again, you know, you have to credit the conditioning that Ed Schilling puts his players through. That's one benefit of great conditioning. You avoid injuries. And boy,
left it short.
Kevin,
Line comes down with it.
Kevin short-armed that free throw, and that was all legs. I think we're going to see Joe Bills check in and give Kevin a break. They're going to check him out physically.
Freeman guilty of the personal. That's 3 against Wright State.
Rather, Thomas Hope going to take a seat on the bench. Ed Schilling going to go a little small, try and match up against this quickness.
Just saw a look at head coach Larry Farmer for Loyola. How would you like to go 89-1 in a career?
Well, in 3 out of the 4 years he's at UCLA, they win the national championship. You know, in the 4th year, they probably go to the Final Four. I don't know the stats in front of me, but boy, what a college career for him, as well as a lot of other players who played for John Wooden at UCLA.
81-9. That ain't bad. There's a 3 ball on the way. That shot put up by McSwine, no good.
Well, Steve Yeagle that time, he's not going to get the rebound, but he boxed out as hard as he could. That's a position foul right there. You get in a position, they had nowhere else to go but over his back. Excellent heady play right there.
18 fouls now against Loyola. They're piling them up awfully quick as we just crossed the midway point of this first half.
Well, now the Raiders got to go to the free throw line. They got to make some free throws. 57% so far in this game. The first meeting between these two, the Raiders shoot 61% from the line. So Steve Yeagle on senior night knocks down the first of 2.
Yeagle, of course, as we mentioned, the 6'4" senior out of Minford gets them both. We're tied at 18. Reach-in call against Yeagle. Trying to stop David Bailey.
Well, David Bailey, one of those guys, he's so very, very difficult to defend. You don't know whether just to sit down and play tough defense on him or just to try and contain him. And that time Steve Yeagle got caught in no man's land, committed the foul. And boy, David Bailey really, really impressed with this freshman.
Bailey works to Earl the Pearl Brown. Bailey goes strong to the hoop, off the glass for 2. That's 13 for David Bailey.
So much for freshman nerves. I mean, this kid is controlling the basketball game.
Yeagle works inside, ball tapped out of bounds by Bailey. 23 on the shot clock, Wright State ball.
Well, right there, I think Loyola gave Steve Yeagle a gift for senior night. He threw a pass there. I don't know who he was throwing it to, but Loyola tipped it out of bounds. The Raiders maintain a possession.
Ball worked in. Tyson Freeman hops. Goes it. Nelson sends it out to Diego for 3. That's 5 off the bench for Steve Yago, and Wright State regains the lead. Bailey misses a shot by the foul. It's on the big man, Israel Sheinfeld.
Boy, you know, how many times can you say it? There's Israel. He's shaking his head. David Bailey saying, I don't care how big you are. He's taking it to the glass. The thing about him, he does not hesitate. I mean, there's some little guys who will dance around with the ball and somehow get a shot off, but boy, David Bailey makes up his mind. He's taking it to the rack. And very, very impressive. Now 14 points in this ball game, 5 out of 6 from the field.
Brad Tice re-enters this ball game, so does Shin Kerr. Wow, David Bailey showing an awful amount of quicks. Also, a great amount of patience and shooting at the charity stripe makes them both, and the Ramblers regain the lead 22-21.
David Bailey with 15 of the 22 points for Larry Farmer's squad. Boy, he's got to be very happy with what this kid's come out. You know, it's tough to go out and play on the road in this conference.
Sheinfeld goes backside underneath, and Melson finishes. That's 11 for Kevin Melson.
Raiders now go back to man-to-man. Tyson Freeman saying, it's into showtime, Mr. Bailey. I'm going to shut you down. Boy, if Tyson can't do it, I don't know if we've got anybody who can answer him.
Here's Earl Brown from 18 feet away.
Now, we talked about it before, the three-point barrage. You cannot allow these guys to get some confidence and start knocking down some big threes.
Yago off the cut, drives in, and is stonewalled by Shin Kerr. Here's Melson, a long-range shot, and that's no good.
Wow, that ball never looked like it got above the rim the entire time.
Looking for the back cut, looking for Brad Tice up top, and couldn't find him. Coming back into this ball game is Jarrell Parker, but not before we have a timeout. 7:56 remaining here in this first half, and the Ramblers up by 1. One-point lead for Loyola. David Bailey putting on some kind of show in half number 1.
Well, no doubt about it. The kid, the freshman, has really come out and has taken this game over, plain and simple. Ramblers with 24 points, 15 of them in the box score on the line of Mr. David Bailey. So, boy, you got to shut him down. You know, you can't allow him to just control the basketball game, and he's done that. Ed Schilling now with Tyson Freeman in the game. Raiders last time down went man-to-man and trying to slow him down a little bit. Really have to be impressed just with the quickness and the athleticism. I mean, these Loyola Ramblers have come out and said, we're going to play, guys. You know, people on the road in this conference, they don't normally win, but you're going to have to beat us on the scoreboard.
Here's Freeman with the ball, will control the show. Works against young Mr. Bailey. Lost the handle.
An unforced error right there. He just got to handle the basketball. Raiders now with 5 turnovers in this game, 7 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first half.
Brown works against Marcus May, the sophomore out of Indianapolis. Picks up the dribble, Bailey wide open. Head of the key for 3, knock it down. Unbelievable, 18 points for David Bailey.
You know, nobody within 10 feet of him that time. Somebody has got to, Tyson's got to work his way through the screens. His teammates have got to help him through it. You got to contest his shots.
Sheinfeld down on the block, can't finish. And Shane Kerr comes down with it.
Well, right now the Raiders just getting beat physically. That time down offensively. Israel goes up as strong as he can, but Brad Tice, who's back into the game, says, it ain't going to be easy, big fella. Israel unable to get the ball up on the glass.
That's 2 against Tyson Freeman.
But David Bailey brings it back. Boy, he's scored 18 points now, and he's put 2 fouls on Tyson Freeman.
Shin Kerr, a 3 ball. That's no good. May crashes the boards. Here's Freeman.
Raiders really need to get Israel into this basketball game. Only 1 point so far. Nice catch.
Oh, Sheinfeld finishes at the hoop.
Israel Sheinfeld.
Big man finally scores from the field. 3 points altogether. 27-25. Loyola still up. Parker. Here's Tice. Too strong.
Brad Tice got a pretty good look at the basket that time, right from the free throw line.
Diego thinks about 3.
Good decision that time by Steve. Bring the ball down. Make Loyola play some defense.
Diagonal pass. May will trigger a 3. Leave it short. And we've got a foul. It's on May as young Mr. Bailey went for the ball. And Marcus will pick up his second.
Boy, Larry Farmer, I'm sure, has to be very impressed with the job his interior people are doing on Israel Sheinfeld and Kevin Melson. Kevin with 11 points in the first half, and Israel with only 3. And everything he's done has been very, very difficult in the paint.
May and Diego check out. Joe Bill's back into this ball game. And Thomas Hope likewise for Wright State. Makes the first.
19 points for the freshman out of Chicago, David Bailey, putting on a show.
Bailey shooting 76.5%, waiting to get back into this ball game. Damian McSwine for Loyola. Bailey makes them both. 20 points for David Bailey. He's had quite a half.
Well, coming into this basketball game, Jeff, David Bailey averaging 8 points a game. 8 points a game, and he comes in here and just catches fire. The blessing in this whole thing is his teammates have only scored 9 points. You know, if you're Ed Chilling, you say, if we can find something to control this kid, we'd be in good shape.
Tyson Freeman works down low. Melson, a fine move and a foul.
I think they got him stepping on the baseline. Loyola doing a nice job of forcing him back underneath the basket. Kevin's got to be careful. Took it into no man's land, nowhere to go with the basketball.
It's a 4-point lead for the Loyola Ramblers, 29-25. Parker will handle. Swine will get a touch, directing traffic, and sends it back to Parker. Works against Melson. Here's a 3 ball for Earl Brown, no good. Sheinfeld the board.
Nice strong rebound by Israel that time. Kept his position. Damian McSwine getting high up off the floor, but Israel with his 5th rebound of the night.
Freeman inside. Sheinfeld, a power move, and no good. He walked with the ball.
Well, and he also cracked Mr. Brad Tice right in the kisser. Tough move right there.
Bruno Petersons will make his way back into this ball game for Sheinfeld. Earl Brown works against Joe Bills. Under 5 minutes to play here in half number 1. Swine pulls up and cants it from 15 feet away.
Well, Damian McSwine, a guy that comes in off the bench, but seemingly always very tough against the Raiders.
Loyola out to their biggest lead, 31-25.
Loyola goes 2-3 zone, really packing the middle.
Looking for Peterson's inside, taken away by Brown. Slips, pulls up, looking for Kerr, and this one tapped out of bounds. Last touched by Jarrell Parker.
David Bailey checking back into the basketball game. Raiders really had an opportunity there for a couple minutes to try and get back in this basketball game. And boy, the kid, 5'8" freshman, gets a little bit of a rest on the bench over next to Larry Farmer. Here he comes back. Hopefully he's cooled off a little bit.
Bills. Hope looking for Melson. This one tapped away. McSwine comes down with it. Bailey in a hurry and has it taken away by Tyson Freeman.
I like the way Tyson Freeman is approaching this. He's saying, yeah, you're doing it. You're a superstar when you're standing by the 3-point arc. We're going to test you physically now. And Tyson Freeman very, very close to getting his 3rd personal foul that time down the floor.
15 on the shot clock. Freeman works in. Sends back.
Shot clock 10.
Here's Melson. And the kick out. Freeman, his shot blocked. Goes for Bruno Petersons. He can't finish. Melson, stick back, and count it. A strong power move by Kevin Melson. He'll head to the line. An old-fashioned three-point try.
Well, just sheer desire right there. Bruno Peterson doing a nice job keeping the ball alive. Nice little 2-foot dump pass that time. I don't know if he was trying to shoot the ball or pass it, but Bruno doing a nice job just keeping the basketball alive. Kevin Melson knocks down the free throw.
Yes, he does, and we have a timeout on the floor. With 3:36 remaining here in this first half, the Ramblers continue to lead, but Wright State coming back. We'll be back in just a moment. It's a 5-point lead for the Loyola Ramblers, 33-28, and Kevin Melson starting to heat things up.
Well, he really is. 14 points now in the game, and on the offensive end of the floor, it really picks the Raiders up. A shot that Bruno took, seemingly just an air ball, but Kevin gets up off the floor. The athleticism he possesses, gets the ball, gets it to go, knocks down the free throw. Raiders narrow the Rambler lead to 3. So going into the end of the half.
Very well of Marcus May.
Marcus May, always a fan favorite. You know, a guy plays hard, 40 minutes a game, always a smile on his face, a quality class kid.
David Bailey will handle the ball. 3:30 and counting in this first half. Swine works against Bills. Freshman out of Rosecrans High School out in Zanesville. And into this ball game, Wayne Plowman. Big man for Loyola, 6'7", a junior out of Crestwood, Illinois. This one tapped nearly out of bounds, and it's taken out of bounds. It's a Wright State ball.
Well, that time Tyson Freeman did an outstanding job pressuring David Bailey. He had nowhere to go with the basketball, and they turned the basketball over. Nice job by Tyson. That time defensively, he just controlled David Bailey.
31-28. Oh, works it in and has it taken away by Wayne Plowman.
Thomas that time in too much of a hurry.
Parker works it in, gets it back out. Here's Plowman, a 3 ball, too strong. Bills chases it down.
Raiders need to come down, take their time, get a high percentage shot. Loyola very, very quick and a lot of hands and very good athletes. You're not going to get an easy pass.
Oh, gives back to Bills. Lost the handle, walked with it.
Joe Bills that time. Again, a little quick with the basketball, trying to do too much. I think in the first half here, the quickness is kind of taking the Raiders by surprise.
Parker works in and gets the kiss off the glass for 2. 5-point lead. Nelson works inside for Bruno Peterson's, and a whistle stopping play.
Israel Sheinfeld, Steve Yeagle set the check back in for the Raiders. Ed Schilling, I'm sure, with 2 minutes, 4 seconds left in this first half, doesn't want to let this thing get away.
Wayne Plowman, the 6'7" junior out of Crestwood, Illinois, picks up his first. And Bruno Peterson's will head to the line.
Bruno, a blistering 44% on the year. Raiders 64% from the free throw stripe early in this game. Thomas Hope going to take a break. Steve Yeagle checks in for him. And Steve's played pretty well.
Yes, he has.
Senior night, he's come in, he's played hard, he's made good decisions, and knocked down a couple shots.
And Bruno gets 1 of 2. Here comes Israel Sheinfeld as he takes the place of Bruno Peterson, scoring his first point of the ball game, and will quickly check out. Bailey works in against Tyson Freeman. There's a pretty good matchup.
The thing that's impressive to me is they inbounded.
Bailey has it stripped away. However, Plowman catches up with it.
Against the pressure, they inbound the ball to David Bailey, and he tells his teammates, move. Give me the basketball.
Tested again by Yeagle. Howard taken back. Here's Kerr to the hoop. Oh, a beautiful move to the basket by Shin Kerr. 35-29. A minute and a half to play in this first half.
Raiders just need to make sure they keep this thing close. They don't want to get blown out.
Short by Joe Bills, however, another opportunity. Yeagle for three, and misses off the front end. And Tyson Freeman will pick up his third personal.
Boy, Loyola, they just make it so very, very difficult. There you see a difficult look on the face of Tyson Freeman. Steve Yeagle, pretty good look at the basket from the three-point arc. Hits the front rim, and David Bailey going high for the rebound. Tyson coming across and fouling. And David Bailey going to go to the free throw line, trying to improve on the 20 points he's already got here in the first half. Tyson going to take a seat. 3 personal fouls.
Bailey to the line, where he's been perfect, and he continues to be. Isaac, 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. He has been scintillating. 22 points for David Bailey.
Larry Farmer looking to throw a knockout punch right here. Full court pressure, last minute 15. David Bailey with a lot of quickness on the defensive end of the floor as well. Joe Bills takes the ball just inside half court to start the Raider offense.
Nelson rolls, spins, throws it up, too strong.
Boy, they just play great man-to-man defense. Kevin Melson that time under a lot of duress. Can't even get a good look at the basket, forced the shot a little bit.
Ed Schilling will make some adjustments in the locker room. They're going to have to find an answer for young Mr. Bailey.
Well, that's the one adjustment they've simply got to make.
Bailey walks with the ball.
They got to find some answer to this kid. 22 points in the first half, 6 of 7 from the field, 4 of 4 behind the three-point arc. Perfect 6 out of 6 from the line, so he's not done a whole lot wrong.
Shot clock turned off. Bills works it in. Nelson on the high post. Hands it off. Marcus May kicks it out.
Raiders need to finish with a good basket right here. They've got to go in on a positive note at halftime.
Yeagle, the bounce pass goes to May. 10 on the game clock. Drives in, slips on the floor, goes to Sheinfeld. A power move, high post, no good. And taken down by Parker. Will throw one up at half court and nearly hit it from there. And this first half has come to a close. Your score at intermission, the Loyola Ramblers leading the Wright State Raiders 37-29. Halftime festivities coming up, and we'll be back in just a moment. We return to the Irvin J. Nutter Center, where your score at intermission. It's the Loyola Ramblers leading the Wright State Raiders by a score of 37-29, thanks to some strong heroics by a young freshman, David Bailey, who has 22 first half points. However, not to be outdone totally, Kevin Melson pacing the way for Wright State at 14 points. Taking a look at some first half numbers. Loyola shooting 50% from the field, 13 of 26, 4 of 10 from behind the arc for 40%, and batting 1,000, if you will, from the charity stripe, 7 of 7. Wright State batting or shooting 36% from the field in the first half, 9 of 25, 3 of 9 from behind the arc for 33%, and shooting 8 of 12 at the charity stripe, 67%. Of course, you can see the turnovers. Well, obviously favors the Loyola Ramblers. And the rebounding slightly favoring the Wright State Raiders. As we had mentioned, 22 points for David Bailey, 6 of 8. Actually, he should be 6 of 8 here from the field. He took that last minute 55-foot shot that missed off the glass, off to the side. And that should actually count as a shot attempt. In any case, 22 points for him, 14 points for Kevin Melson to pace the Raiders. Taking a look, there's some numbers here for Wright State. 3 points for Israel Sheinfeld, likewise Joe Bills and Marcus May. 5 points for Steve Yeagle off the bench, and 1 for Bruno Petersons. For Loyola, the visiting Ramblers, 4 points for Shin Kerr. Also 4 points for Earl Brown. Damian McSwine has 2. As we mentioned, 22 points for David Bailey. Also 5 points to wrap up the scoring for Jarrell Parker. Wright State looking, and hopefully we'll try and make it 2 in a row here at home. Make it 11-3. Right now, 10-3 here at the Nutters Center. They've had some terrible woes out on the road for one reason or another. We would prefer to think that they've just been bit one reason or another. But Mark and I were talking prior to this ball game, saying that there have been 4 teams in this conference which have 1 or no wins on the road this year. Loyola, in fact, only has 1 win coming on into this ballgame. 1-8 on the road. That's the reason why they've had a kind of a tough showing here in the MCC. Wright State, like I said, doing well here in the home gym. 10-3, hopefully making it 11, but not if Larry Farmer's crew has anything to do and say about it. As Mark Vestry joins me here, getting ready to get the second half underway. I'm sure some tough talk going on in the locker room, trying to make an adjustment, and I'm sure, let's be perfectly honest here, Ed Schilling probably wanting a little bit more hustle out of this crew.
Well, you know, he just walked onto the floor with about 10 seconds before the buzzer. The Wright State Brain Trust, I'm sure, trying to make whatever last-minute adjustments they can, but the players seemingly got out here pretty quickly, and I'm sure that was a good thing for them. You know, Ed Schilling is the type of a coach, and as a player, he was the type of guy, very hard-nosed and get after people. And boy, in the first half, I think they really just got beat physically up and down the floor by a very athletic Loyola team. And if they're going to win this basketball game, they've got to win the physical battle here in the second half.
Wright State will take the ball right at half court, right in front of us. Thomas Hope to throw in. Ball is in the hands of Joe Bills. We're back underway in half number 2. Bills works against Earl Brown. Marcus May gets a touch. Thomas Hope likewise. Oh, a nice entry pass to Israel Sheinfeld, and he works it in for 2.
Well, and I was just about to say, they need to start with Israel. 3 points in the first half. He has got to control the paint both ends of the floor, and I'm sure that was something they talked about coming out of the half. We got to get the ball to Israel, and Israel doing a nice job of converting right there.
Tice got away with a walk. Brown with the ball against Bills. 15 on the shot clock. Throws up 18 feet away. That's no good. A loose ball, and it belongs to David Bailey. Parker walks.
Good help that time by Israel Sheinfeld, stepping out on the dribble penetration and cutting that off. And Jarrell Parker travels with the basketball, turns it over. The 9th turnover on the night for the Loyola Ramblers.
37-31. If you're Wright State, you just got to cut in piece by piece. May works inside. Sheinfeld, the power move, no good. And the foul. It's going to be on Brad Tice, and it's number 3 on him.
Well, and I think Larry Farmer, I'm sure he already understands what adjustments were made at halftime. There we see it right there. We're going to the big boy, and he's going to take us to the promised land. Israel's the guy who's just going to flat out have to get it done here in the second half. Brad Tice now with 3 personal fouls. He got 2 early in the game, had to take a long rest on the bench. And Israel knocked down the first of 2, and there you see him shaking his head a little bit. Tough roll, but he gets it to go.
Israel, as we mentioned, near the top of our broadcast, 72.5% from the charity stripe. And he makes them both. Well, Mark, I would imagine it's just a case of feeding the bear.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You have to really, you got to build something inside, and you got to start with Israel Sheinfeld. Here we go again. Earl Brown slipping on the floor. And
Parker gets it. Bailey comes back.
seems like we've seen a lot more slippage on this floor tonight than any other night before that I can remember.
Parker, or make that Bailey works it out. Brown with 10 on the shot clock gives to David Bailey against Marcus May. Trying to deny him the entry, puts it up, a floater, and he gets it to fall in for 2.
Oh, and that right there was just a playground move. He took Marcus May hard on the dribble, put the shoulder into him, got him some space. Ed Schilling asking for a charge, but not going to get it.
Oh, a power move and a finish for Israel Sheinfeld.
Israel Sheinfeld coming to the offensive end, showing why he's probably the premier big man in the conference.
Here's Bailey in traffic, feeds the Kerr, and he misses the jam. Nelson saves it for Thomas Hope.
Shin Kerr getting way up off the floor that time, and You know, those are the kind of things that get you back in the basketball game. You play good, tough defense, they miss a dunk. You come to the other end, you convert.
Israel, 18 feet away, too strong. Melson fighting for it, keeps it alive. A jump shot, that's no good.
Not the shot you want to see out of Israel. Raiders need to take more time. Got to put some heat on these Loyola Ramblers. You got to make them play defense.
Kerr works it to Earl Brown, 18 feet away.
There's the guy coming into the ball game that was everybody was fearing, Earl Brown. He's the guy who's been hot lately. But David Bailey, the guy who's really come in and taken the heat off of Earl Brown.
Averaging 14.5 a ball game. He has 6. It's 41-35. Ball worked in. Melson, high lob. Israel, and a foul. And that's 4 on Brad Tice. Now we'll change that. It's a personal against David Bailey.
Well, David Bailey laughing and clapping his hands here. We'll see it again. Great little two-man game right there. Kevin Melson throws it up, and Israel swallows it up. David Bailey thinking he got the ball. And Israel saying, come in here again, I'll give you the ball. Don't come in here, little man. You found your game, and you're going to find mine. You come in here trying to take the basketball.
Spoken like a true big man.
Well, you know, and that's the way Israel's got to be. And he's a very, very strong player. And boy, when you're as good as he is, you're going to get a lot of pressure from the guards dropping back in on you.
Wright State showing pressure. Brown has it. Bailey, so far the star of the ball game, works again with Brown in a little two-man game.
We've talked about it so many times before. A very important portion of the game, the first 5 minutes, second half.
Bailey a 3, too strong, and Israel crashing the boards, gets the board.
The Raiders have so far, they've won the battle.
Here's Melson, a 3-ball on the way, that's too strong. Hope the rebound. And loses it, we have a foul. A lot of contact.
Thomas Hope doing a nice job getting the offensive rebound, but boy, the quickness again of the Ramblers just always haunting you.
2 team fouls against Wright State. And Bailey throws a high lob down low for Parker. Nowhere to go against Sheinfeld. Has to throw it back out. Bailey again, a 3. That's no good. Crashing is Tice. Tosses it out. Parker gives to Bailey. In the way, and he walked with the ball. We have a timeout on the floor. 15:59 remaining in this ball game. The Ramblers by 4. We'll be back in just a moment. 37. Israel Sheinfeld has seemingly taken over this ball game.
Well, and the Raiders came out so far in the first 4 minutes of the second half and have outscored the Ramblers 8-4, all 8 points. Israel Sheinfeld, 3 points at halftime, and we talked about it coming out. You had to establish the big man. Boy, he's done it. 8 points in the first 4 minutes here. Raiders find themselves only down 4 at this point.
The ball is in the hands of Thomas Hope in just a matter of moments here. He gets it, gives to Joe Bills. A lot of slippage out on the floor tonight. And I think part of it could be attributed to the fact that A, it's warmer outside, and 2, it's warmer here in the building. Israel gets it. Power move and a flip shot in for 2.
Well, and I look across the floor and I do my best reading lips imitation, and Larry Farmer says, what can we do? You know, they had 3 people on him that time in the crowd really getting into the basketball game. Raiders down 2.
2-point ball game. Brown works inside, pops, 14 feet away. No good, and Thomas Hope gets the board. And he was fouled over the back. Earl Brown will pick up the personal.
Nice job by Thomas Hope that time. Stay strong with the basketball. Realize Earl Brown still lurking right around behind him, and stay strong with the basketball and draws the personal foul.
Damian McSwine comes into this ball game. Earl Brown will leave. Also, Brad Tice will leave. Parker back in. And the ball in the hands of Thomas Hope at the head of the key. Marcus in the paint, goes to the hoop, can't finish. We have a foul. I don't know if Marcus knew just how wide open underneath the basket he actually was.
Well, he's got to get that shot to go. Marcus doing a great job turning the corner. There you see him again. It's like he's anticipated the block that time and just got a little hip.
That's 3 team fouls now against Loyola.
They're going to call the foul after the shot.
You can hear Joe Bills in the background barking out the orders. Wayne Plowman works his way back in the ball game as Silvio Turkovic, just as quickly as he was in on the last dead ball, comes out. Bills works to Melson. Lob entry. Double team against Israel Sheinfeld. Here's Hope, a 3-ball, knock it down, and the Raiders regain the lead, 42-41.
Thomas Hope, his first points of the night. Couldn't have come at a bigger time right there. Boy, to take some pressure off of Israel inside. Big shot.
Rowland sends it out to Parker. Bounce pass, Kerr. Hesitates, picks it out. Parker for 3, way too long. Plowman tries to save it. It's off the foot of Israel Sheinfeld. Loyola ball.
Plowman, nice job that time. Going after the loose ball, under control, throws it right off the feet of the big man. Just exactly where you want to hit a big man in the feet. He can't get down to it.
Here's a lob entry. Kerr finishes, falls hard on the floor after he completes.
Ken Kerr went down hard. Larry Farmer comes out on the floor, concerned for his player.
Kerr setting up.
That's one of those things as a player. Larry Farmer going to give a little something extra to the official as he takes a John out on the floor. Sheen Kerr walking down the floor. There you see the lob. Shin Kerr, boy, he goes way up. Incidental contact, you know, it's you get up that high and things are going to happen. Larry Farmer getting the explanation there. You see top of your screen. Referee's doing a nice job. Take a little time here. You know, when you get a foul that looks violent, really isn't. You know, you don't want tempers to start to flare. Referee's doing a nice job. Good call right there. Sheen Kerr comes down, makes a mistake. That's, boy, you don't want to foul Thomas Hope 40 feet from the basket. We'll shove in the back. Larry Farmer looks across the floor at Shin Kerr, says, do you want to come out? Well, then you better settle down.
That's 4 on Loyola. Bills works the ball against Parker. Now in turn, May works it inside. Sheinfeld and a foul.
Well, this is another one of those stretches. There you see Israel, the middle of your screen. Takes up the better part of your screen. Just controls the game. Much like David Bailey did in the first half offensively. Israel just saying, guys, give me the basketball. Get out of the way. Boy, very, very impressive stretch right here for Israel Sheinfeld.
First one falls in. It seems to me that good things are happening. Put the ball in Marcus's hands, attack the defender, and send it down low to the big man.
Well, and the nice thing about Israel is he's grown as a player to where now he's not a black hole as a big man. You know, when you throw the ball in there, it can come back out, and he does a nice job passing the basketball.
We're tied at 43. Parker holds on.
Raiders extend their defense. David Bailey kind of going into a little bit of a funk here, falling asleep. That's just fine with us.
McSwan gives to Bailey, throws it away. However, last tapped out by Marcus May. Coming back into the ball game, it's Earl Brown as Jarrell Parker checks out.
Shot clock at 12. You saw Larry Farmer porting up above the basket, trying to inform his troops, hey guys, realize what we got here. Let's don't go to sleep. Shot clock 5.
3 on the shot clock. They're going to have to shoot. It's a shot clock violation. No. And Brown will come up with it, puts it up and in. Should have been offensive interference. However, they will call the basket, and the Ramblers take a 2-point lead.
Well, you know, that's one of those things you cry for offensive goaltending, but you weren't up there tearing it off. So Loyola beats you to the basketball.
Israel Sheinfeld, a power move in for two.
Wayne Plowman running up the floor, looks over at Larry Farmer, puts his hands out, says, what do you want me to do?
We got a 44 on the scoreboard. Now they finally got it right. We're tied at 45. Ball initially saved by Joe Bills. However, he taps it out of bounds.
Joe Bills with great hustle that time. That's what we've become so very, very accustomed to with this kid. Plays hard, both ends of the floor. It's not going to be the guy you see in the headlines, but boy, you can't win without him.
Brown gets a screen, feeds back. Plowman thinking three.
Good job by the Raiders that time, recovering defensively.
McSwine, a turnaround jump shot, finds the bottom of the well.
Boy, Damian McSwine, he's always done it in the past. He gets so high up off the floor with that jump shot. So very hard to defend. Left-hander knocks down another one now. 4 points on the evening.
Marcus, as Bailey has the defensive assignment on him. 2-point Rambler lead. Melson, high post. May drives baseline. A contact foul. It's on David Bailey. That's his second.
Well, you know, and I talked about it in the first half. You need to come down. You need to be patient on offense, and you've got to make this guy play defense. Get him off the floor. You know, that time, quickness on quickness, and Marcus made up his mind. He's got as quick a first step as anybody. We'll get a chance to see it again. High post pass over from Kevin Melson. Boom, he's gone. There you see the grab.
Tug of the jersey, 1-1 here for Marcus May, shooting 78.5% from the charity stripe this year. Get a bonus look. Marcus awfully quiet, had a tray in the first half, and has been shut down since.
Tyson Freeman set to check in for Marcus May. There you see after he makes the second of 2 free throws.
We're knotted up again, this time at 47. Back and forth we go. May gets the glad hand, and Freeman back in.
Tyson now with 3 personal fouls has to be very, very careful. He doesn't want to get that fourth with 12 minutes left in the ball game. He's just got to contain David Bailey. You're not going to stop a guy like that. You just got to contain him.
Beats the trouble screen, cut off on the low block. Plowman holds, nearly taken away by Freeman. Lob entry goes to Plowman, 10 on the shot clock.
Raiders again just doing a great job of playing team defense. Everybody helping out. Earl Brown, though.
Brown
helping his own cause.
Off the glass, and that's 8 points for Earl Brown, 49-47. Nelson, lob entry. It goes to Sheinfeld, the kick out to Melson. Freeman works. Bills eyeing three, thinks better of it. Wraparound pass goes to Thomas Ho. Sheinfeld, one-on-one, a power move, and that one, defensive goaltending, count the basket.
Jarrell Parker, 6'4", gets way up off the floor. Rather, Shin Kerr.
We have a timeout. Beg your pardon there, Mark. We have a timeout on the floor. 11:06 remaining here in this ball game, and we're knotted up at 49. We're knotted up at 49 with Raider all-time great Mark Vest. I'm Geoff Kim. And speaking about great big men here in this building, or here in the Wright State colors, Israel Sheinfeld.
But Israel, he's at the point now where he just gets people on his back. And there you see Shin Kerr, the 6'8" junior, saying, I'm going to erase that. Goaltending call. Israel gets the bucket. Walking into the timeout, Larry Farmer saying to Shin Kerr, why would you do that? The ball's 3 feet out in front of the rim. You don't know if he's going to make it or not. You got to let it get up there and get on the rim. Don't give him an easy basket.
So whatever it was that Ed Schilling said in the locker room at the half, I think it's working.
But I think it probably had something to do with challenging Israel Sheinfeld to come out and take control of the basketball game. 3 points in the first half, not really even a factor, but here in the second half, the only factor.
Earl Brown, handshake Joe Bills. Bailey with the ball. Bills picks him up, takes it, a floater off the glass and in for 2.
Joe Bills that time forcing David Bailey to the baseline, and David says, okay, I'll take what you're giving. Takes it high off the glass, and 26 points now on the night.
Freeman gets a screen up high, keeps the dribble alive. Bills off the cut, looking, Swine cuts him off. Freeman fakes the pass inside. Freeman, a 3-ball on the way, no good. Here's Melson, can't finish. Gets a stick back in for 2.
Well, that's just sheer determination and hustle. Boy, to go up, try to dunk the ball, jam it against the rim, and be able to come down and get the basketball again. Kevin Melson kind of quiet here in the second half, but comes alive just at the right time. And
a takeaway by Kevin Melson in traffic. Wants to go, take it to the hoop. He puts it up and no good. A foul before the shot.
You have to like the attitude right there. Kevin Melson, 1-on-3. He's got the Loyola Ramblers running backwards, says, nope, I'm not going to help you out and slow down. I'm taking it to the glass, and draws the personal foul. Now Kevin goes to the free throw line. See Tyson Freeman, a little bit of slap. Says, let's go, big boy. It's time for you to take over. Israel Sheinfeld has carried the load for most of the second half. Kevin Melson now stepping up. Great 1-2 punch.
Wayne Plowman, who is guilty of the personal. Parker comes into this ball game. Swine checks out.
Wayne Plowman, Brad Tice now, 2 big bodies in the basketball game. I'm sure Larry Farmer trying to answer where's the beef, and he's going to put some big guys on the floor to try and contest Israel Sheinfeld.
Nelson will head to the bench. He will get the glad hand. Jonathan Freeman was the other fellow that we didn't mention leaving the ball game for Loyola. The ball worked in, and it goes to Earl Brown.
Ed Schilling taking the opportunity to get Kevin Melson some rest. And with the TV timeout usually coming up right about the 8-minute mark, he's going to get probably a good 3 or 4 minutes.
Steve Yago coming off the bench. Here's a pull-up 18-foot jump shot from Earl Brown. No good. In and out, and Hope comes down with the board.
Boy, Thomas Hope, before his days are over here at Wright State, he's going to fracture a few rebounding records. This kid can just flat out go get the basketball.
Freeman works to Hope. Inside, Sheinfeld, and a personal.
Brad Tice.
On Tice, that's his 4th.
There you see just a confused look on his face, like, I don't know what else I can do. I try to deny him the ball, they lob it, he takes it to the glass. I stand behind him, and we'll get a chance to see Brad Tice doing just that. Nice entry pass there, Steve Yago. Brad Tice, boy, tough call right there. Yeah, you got 2 big bodies banging.
6'10" sophomore out of Tel Aviv, Israel. He makes the first. He has been stellar at the line tonight.
Well, you know, you put the ball in the hands of your studs, and now Israel Sheinfeld, 19 points, going for 20 here on the second of 2 free throws. And misses. I jinxed him.
3-point Raider lead. Parker works to David Bailey.
David Bailey really going to sleep here in the second half. And boy, Tyson Freeman, just a defensive pit bull, chasing him all over the floor.
Parker, a 3-ball, that's no good. We have a foul, and Parker rolling around. He's all right, and it's going to be on Yago.
Well, and I think Steve Yago's saying, hey, I'm coming around the screen, and I get shoved into the shooter. But you got to be able to control your momentum that time. And boy, Loyola getting a big break right here.
Jarrell Parker. They call it on the shot. This is 3 attempts here. It is. Norm Nelson, one of our officials, saying so. Crowd not happy about it.
Boy, from the looks of that shot, Jarrell Parker, not the guy you want at the free throw line for 3 of them. %61% on the year, but so far 2 for 2 here. And Kevin Melson going to check back into the basketball game.
Melson in for Hope. David Bailey will also take a seat for Loyola as Shin Kerr comes back in. No good, 2 of 3. Sheinfeld, the big man, gets the board. 1-point lead for Wright State.
Big lineup now in the game for Loyola, Jeff. They've got some big bodies on that back line. Perimeter people are going to need to recognize that. It's time to step up.
Bill's working with 10 on the shot clock. Drives, gives to Sheinfeld. High post, and kicks it back out. Freeman.
Shot
with
clock 5
on the shot clock. He will trigger a 3, and it's off the back end. Yago fighting for the board, and he gets another offensive try for Wright State.
Boy, and a crowd giving Steve Yago here on senior night, the lone senior on this Raider team. A nice round of applause. Good hustle play right there.
Tyson Freeman handling. Cuts through, penetrates, puts it down low in the hands. Kevin Melson for 2. He'll go to the line for a bonus try.
Well, Tyson Freeman, just a great job on penetration. Taking the ball straight into the teeth of the defense. Larry Farmer going to take a timeout and stop the bleeding.
What a look. Official timeout. We'll take a break here too. 7:54 remaining here in this ball game. 3-point Raider lead. And we'll be back in just a moment. 57-53 while we were away. Melson came to the line, shot the free throw. We're calling an official timeout right here, so we'll keep it right here with under 8 to play. The personal was on Shin Kerr as far as we can tell, and it was. That's his 3rd personal.
Wow, just great dribble penetration. Tyson Freeman strong with the basketball. That was the key. A lot of pressure came when he got into the paint. Able to keep the basketball under control, dish it to Kevin Melson. Kevin gets a shot to go and knocks down the free throw.
One thing that we had talked about at the top of the broadcast with head coach Ed Schilling is that Melson and Sheinfeld right now are probably the best 1-2 duo in the MCC. They're showing their stripes tonight.
Well, no doubt about it. When big players make big plays, and here in the second half especially, Kevin had 14 points in the first half, Israel 3, and now we see Israel with 19 points, 7 rebounds, Kevin 21 points and 8 rebounds. So the two have really risen to the top just when you needed him. Ed Schilling, whatever he did at halftime, whatever he cooked up, he needs to bottle it because it certainly worked this evening.
19 for Sheinfeld, 21 for Melson, and look what they've done for the charity stripe. Kevin, 7 of 9, including that last free throw to complete the old-fashioned 3. Israel, 7 of 10. They're getting it done.
Well, tonight's attendance, 7,600. They're getting to see a great game. These two guys, boy, they really step up. When you go to the line, you got to knock them down. Free throws don't win all the games, just the close ones. And boy, if the Raiders can pull one out, you can count it up, chalk it up to free throw shooting, and good, strong play here in the second half.
The one thing that we had kind of talked about is how well Wright State has done actually at home this year. A 10-3 record, a tough time on the road, but things will change. I think, that's just a case of being snake bit.
You get to a point where, as you mentioned, being snake bit, it's contagious. It just kind of grows on you. But boy, to go into the tournament on an up note after hopefully a victory here tonight against Loyola, this is a game right here where you build a lot of confidence, a lot of personal challenges here. David Bailey probably has the half of his life. Raiders come out in the second half and really shut him down and do a great job on it.
Brown will trigger a 3, and he'll leave it off the front end, and Kerr the tip back in for 2.
Boy, Shane Kerr really getting up off the floor that time. Somebody's got to get a body on it.
That's a lot of yeast in his shoes.
Boy, that young man can certainly get up off the floor, and a very, very good rebounder.
Joe Bills handles. 14 on the shot clock. Yago inside. Melson, a 3 ball. Knock it down!
Well, Boy, you really love to see Kevin Melson starting to show some emotion. Fist into the air after he knocked down a three. He doesn't forget. About a month ago up in Chicago, leaving the floor. Loyola players calling him a choker.
Foul before the shot. And Steve Yeagle out on the baseline. He looks like he got hit in the mouth. He's guilty of the personal, add insult to injury. And that's his third.
There you see referee coming over, checking on Steve. Boy, that's tough. Popped in the mouth on senior night. But boy, Steve's a tough kid. I mean, he really is. You can't say enough about him. He does whatever he's asked to do. And right here, he's asked to come over and help out on defense. And I think actually Kevin got him when he came down. Kevin Melson hit him with an elbow as he was coming down backwards. And Steve's going to hang tough. There you see, now he's going to check out of the basketball game. Thomas Hope checks in.
Fine ovation for the senior out of Minford, Steve Yeagle, playing his final game at the Nutter Center. Meanwhile, Jarrell Parker puts home his first with the charity stripe. Bruno Peterson's in for Israel Sheinfeld.
Jarrell Parker, a 6'4" freshman. David Bailey, also a freshman. Larry Farmer is really starting to reload this program. He's got some pretty good-looking young talent.
It's them both. Well, you know, this is a far cry from that 9-18 season they had last year. 14-12, they come into the Nutter Center tonight.
Well, and if they can pull out a winning season this year, be the first in 13 years for Loyola. Earl Brown, a little too intense defensively, trying to get in the passing lane, denied an entry pass to Tyson Freeman, but boy, Tyson, a tough customer, very, very strong, good strong arms and hands. Gathers the basketball in, draws the personal foul.
That's 3 on Brown, and Tyson will head to the line. It's the first. Tyson, 76% from the charity stripe this year.
Raiders now 20 out of 26, 77%. 21 out of 27, 78% after the make by Tyson. Raiders getting it done from the stripe.
Bailey handles, 62-57.
Raiders 5-point lead, now 6.5 in the ball game. Now you sit down, play good, tough defense, and you take the basketball game away.
Ball work to Parker, head of the key. It's Kevin Melson. In turn, Brown works it in, down low. For Kerr, and he steps out of bounds on the baseline.
Thomas Hope that time. Nice job defensively, just gave Shin Kerr enough rope to hang himself. That's why he plays inside, not the best ball handler on the team, dribbles it off his foot. The Raiders come the other way.
Freeman will handle. Under 6 minutes to play in this ball game.
Now you start to think clocking.
A lot of pushing in the middle. Bruno Peterson's and Brad Tice.
I'm sure there you see that chilling in the middle of your screen. He said, boy, I love it. The referee stopped the game and tell Bruno to settle down. I love it.
No foul call, though.
No, a good bit of refereeing right there. And we throw the basketball away.
Here's Brown to the hoop, off the window for 2.
Larry Farmer going to take a timeout. Just a hair under 6 minutes now. The Ramblers narrow it to 3. Raiders throw the basketball away. Earl Brown converts it.
Not an official timeout. We'll hold things right here. 5:47 remaining here in this ball game. 62-59. Kevin Melson has showed up big. Israel Sheinfeld has showed up big. But really, it all comes down to defense. And what we've seen here in the last 5-7 minutes is some great defense by Wright State.
Well, you know, and when the Raiders give up scores, it's in transition, or it's when they turn the basketball over, like just the last possession here. Thomas Hope throws the basketball away, trying to inbound it. Israel Sheinfeld checks back in for the final 5 minutes and 47 seconds. There you see him adjusting the uniform, looking pretty fresh. He's got a good couple of minutes on the bench, so hopefully he'll be rested. Loyola really turning up the pressure, extending their defense.
Freeman works the Bills. They have a breakdown. Israel, a reverse J for two. What a move by the big man, Israel Sheinfeld.
Brad Tice going to take a long walk. And as he walked by, I think Israel gave him a little something for the ride. Israel Sheinfeld, boy, what a second half.
18 second half points for the big man out of Tel Aviv, Israel Sheinfeld.
Well, you know, we talk about Israel on that play, but what about Joe Bills? He recognizes, hey, I got the big guy. I got one man back. I got to penetrate, draw him, dish it, give it to the big man, and he finishes. Great job by Joe Bills. They get through the pressure. He delivers the basketball. And, well, I'll tell you what, great footwork that time. Israel using the basket to shield off Brad Tice. Gets a shot to go, and he goes to the free throw line, where so far tonight, 7 out of 10.
Silvio Turkovic into the ball game for the departed Brad Tice. Sheinfeld aces it. He has 22 points. It's 65-59.
Well, Tyson Freeman, there you see him. He's going to test the freshman physically. Said, we gave you 22 in the first half. Let's see what you got inside your ears. Boy, really banging on it.
Tyson will pick up his fourth. That's only 14 fouls against Wright State. Tyson will come out, and Coach Schilling saying, nice job on defense. Marcus May back in for Wright State. Kerr will handle, 5.5 to play. Here's Brown at the elbow, pops from 15 feet away.
Boy, good looking shot that time. Nice little ball fake, couple dribbles on the left-hand side. Gets up off the floor, knocks down a good jumper.
65-61. Bills up top. Brown giving him all he can handle. Works to May. Drives to the paint and has it blocked off the guest. Sheinfeld on the stick back for two.
What else can you say? Israel in the proverbial zone. Marcus May, nice job taking it to the glass. Shin Kerr erases it, but Israel, nice position.
They're going to get a blocking call on the big man, Israel Sheinfeld. That's his second.
Well, time Jarrell Parker, 6'4" freshman, takes Israel out on the floor. And boy, you don't like to see him out there. Quickness, playing defense out on the floor is not his forte.
It's 5 against Wright State. Parker, a brilliant move to the hoop for 2. 4-point lead. Brown working against Joe Bills, the freshman out of Zanesville.
Joe doing a nice job handling the ball against the pressure. David Bailey going to get the personal.
And that's 3 on the freshman out of Chicago.
Well, that time Marcus May created that foul by going and getting the basketball. He didn't wait for the ball to come to him. He kept coming to it, meet the pass. David Bailey just couldn't get in front, drew the personal foul.
Marcus will head to the line. Double bonus here for Wright State the rest of the way.
Boy, that's a big benefit right there. Marcus knocks down the first and 2. And boy, you really got to be happy with the way the Raiders have gone to the stripe. Automatic here in the second half.
78.5% shooter this year. 3 of 3, may get 4 of 4 tonight. Six-point lead.
Raiders really looking to push David Bailey to his left. He's quick with that first step to his right.
Bailey cuts through and knifes through for 2.
28 now for the game, 9 out of 12 from the field. Boy, you certainly wanted him to catch fire.
Bills, Melson works on the backside, throws one up off the glass for 2.
That's just a great individual move right there. Kevin under a lot of pressure, able to go up strong, kiss it off the glass.
A walking call, it's on Turkovic. We have a timeout on the floor. 3:37 remaining in this ball game. Raiders by 6. We'll be back in just a moment. Six-point lead for Wright State, 71-65. The two big men in this ball game, something that we had talked about with Ed Schilling. The two best, or rather the best 1-2 combination in the MCC. Israel Sheinfeld, Kevin Melson combining for 50 of the 71 points.
But, you know, at halftime, we're talking about 14 points between the two. 36-point outburst. We got 3.5 minutes left in the half. You know, they've played 16.5 minutes and scored 36 points between them. You know, I can't remember the last time we've had two players just flat out take over the game. And I'm sure that's what Ed Schilling said at halftime. Said, guys, we are big players. We need the big plays. We can't have 3 points out of you in a half, Israel. And boy, they have really responded.
Kevin Melson. 3.5 to play. Against some pressure, he breaks it. Bills will hold on to it. They're going to milk some clock from here on out. And why not? 6-point lead. Lob to Israel. Power move, a spin in the paint, can't finish. This one off the back of Thomas Hope. It goes out of bounds. It's a Loyola possession.
Boy, probably one of the first or second miss for Israel in the whole half. And boy, they brought the house at him that time. Really contested that shot hard.
Brown handles, gets a screen, pops in the lane, goes to Turkovic. Spin move, puts it up, and a 50 move for 2.
That really was. Nice move. Big guy comes down, gets the ball, gathers himself, turns left-hand hook. And I'm sure the Raiders were told during that last time out, hey guys, remember last time we played these guys? They beat us the last second shot, so don't count them out till you hear that buzzer.
Nelson, a clear lane, takes it to the hoop for 2.
Kevin Melson just explodes to the basket.
Bailey cuts to the hoop, lost the handle, gives back. Here's Parker, picks it out. A 3-ball for Earl Brown, he can't finish.
Boy, and you really sense Loyola getting a little out of control. And Larry Farmer, you saw him at the top of your screen, really tried to settle his team down.
Bailey high off the window, no good. Stick back, and we have a foul. Well, you want to talk about climbing up the trees.
Well, Kevin Melson yells out, guys, we got a rebound. Smallest guy on the floor. Takes it to the hole, throws it off the glass, gets it back. Here we'll see it again. Comes in amongst the trees, gets it off. Chin Kurt actually tipping it back out.
That's 3 on Sheinfeld. Tyson Freeman checking back into this ball game. Marcus May will get a seat.
Well, it's no secret why Tyson's coming back into this basketball game. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left on the game clock, and I'm sure Ed Schilling's saying, I got to get Marcus out. I can't have somebody who's fatigued chasing David Bailey as he knocks down 2 and hits a 30-point mark.
Amazing night for the freshman out of Chicago. It's 73-69. Freeman off the cut.
Kevin Melson doing a nice job of handling the basketball against pressure.
Nelson pops a 3. Knock it down! 31 points for Kevin Melson.
Well, we talked about it before the game. I said if Kevin came out to play, this could be a night where he explodes. And Thomas Hope exploding on the boards.
Parker missing 3. Hope gets the board. Crowd coming alive, sensing victory, up 7. A minute and a half to play.
Now the mentality has got to be, okay, Loyola, it's time for you to lose.
Lob goes to Sheinfeld.
Have to be under control right here with the quickness that Larry Farmer's team has. You can't count them out until the final buzzer. Right there, Israel putting it on the floor. Then he goes and gets it.
And
gets a timeout.
The great presence of mind for the sophomore. And Wright State will hold possession, hold ball with 1:07 remaining here in this ball game. What a show we've seen tonight.
Well, here's a guy who's played his heart out. Second half, Israel Sheinfeld, 24 points, 8 rebounds. Raiders up 7, the ball goes on the floor. Yeah, some guys say, doggone it, I turned it over. Not Israel. Tackles the basketball, presence of mind to get the timeout, save the possession.
Wright State with the win will move their home record to 11-3, 11-16 overall. And they will have a tremendous chance to boost their seeding in the MCC.
Well, and as it stands right now, the Raiders are probably going to end up in that 4 versus 5 game next weekend up at the UIC Pavilion in Chicago. And chances are they're going to be matched up against Wisconsin, Milwaukee. So a team that's given them some problems. And whole new season, but the Raiders have to be happy about where they're at.
Bills up top, Melson. Hope with the ball. As we now have 1 minute to play here in this ball game, and a foul over the back of Hope.
Well, Larry Farmer did his homework. He knows who we want to foul. They didn't waste any time. You know, they realized that the Raiders were playing great defense here in the second half. And he's going to need some time on the offensive end to get some things done. So didn't waste a whole lot of time. Went ahead when Thomas Hope got the ball. Go ahead, take the foul. Let's stop the clock, put him on the free throw line, make him earn it.
Thomas shooting 65% from the charity stripe, makes the first.
Raiders now 25 out of 31. 81% from the stripe. I don't know where they were at halftime. Don't have the stats here handy, but boy, in this second half, we're going to get a violation if it's a miss. Larry Farmer just leans back in his chair and says, guys, what are you doing? Are you out there looking for ways to lose? And that might have done it right there. Larry Farmer now head and hands. Thomas, old NBA rule, 3 to make 2.
And he gets another one. That's the first 2 points of the ball game for Hope. Under a minute to play.
Now you just got to play good, tough defense, and you don't want to foul.
Parker drives, puts it up, no good. There's a stick back, Turkovic for 2. 78-71, 48 seconds left to go here in this one. A timeout charge to the Loyola Ramblers.
It's going to take a 20-second timeout. Organize the pressure. Maybe talk about what they want to do once Wright State gets the ball down the floor. Point out who you want to foul. Larry Farmer's been here before. His assistants have been here before. His guys are going to be prepared. And Schilling going to have to prepare his guys as well. It's going to be a tough 48 seconds.
Well, they're going to get a warm for sure. Going to see who you can foul here. Obviously, you don't want to put in your 2 best finishers this ball game. Israel Sheinfeld or Kevin Melson. You don't want to foul those guys.
Both teams shooting the ball very, very, very well from the free throw line. 13 out of 14 for Loyola. And the Raiders, as we just mentioned, they're going to get a chance here to improve on that. 26 out of 32, 81%.
Kevin Melson, was the man who was fouled. He will get a chance to score 2 more.
Well, there you see the Loyola Ramblers. Several of the guys are walking down the floor, heads hanging. They realize, boy, here we go again. It's like going to a firing squad. Putting the Raiders at the free throw line here in the second half.
Both teams have shot remarkably well from the floor. 50% tonight for Loyola, 48% for Wright State, as Kevin makes the first.
Boy, what a turnaround here in the second half. Credit the Raiders as a team, knocking down free throws and go from an 8-point halftime deficit to a 9-point lead with 47.4 ticks left on the clock.
May out, Tyson Freeman in. 33 points for the 4-time conference player of the week, Kevin Melson. Ball worked up to Bailey. Double team, will kick it out. Parker eyeing 3, and we'll send it back. There's Bailey, it's off his hands, out of bounds, and Wright State will take over. 38.2 seconds remaining in this one.
Well, and the Raiders that time with great defense, getting back to the perimeter shooter, and Loyola couldn't find anybody to pull the trigger. And Raiders get it into Israel. Israel going to take a shot and walk to the other end.
Fouled by Turkovic. 36.5 seconds remaining in this ball game, and this last half minute is going to be the longest half minute we're going to see in basketball.
Well, you know, we're pretty close to having 2 30-point scorers in one game, and boy, what an offensive explosion for these two. Kevin has already eclipsed it. 33 points, 8 rebounds. Israel now has fouled out his second victim. Israel with 24 points and 8 rebounds of his own, and Turkovic now going to take a seat next to Brad Tice, and they'll commiserate over on that Rambler bench. Talk about Israel Sheinfeld for a little while.
You know, I think we use the word unstoppable a little too often in this business, but truly Israel Sheinfeld in the second half exactly was.
You know, and the thing that's really scary, Israel's a sophomore. You know, I'm sure these coaches around this MCC are saying, Lord, we got to deal with this guy for 2 more years, and he's only going to get better. Raiders getting kind rolls now.
You want to talk about the proverbial diamond in the rough.
You know, his improvement from last year to this year, just in his conditioning and his footwork, is just phenomenal.
Steve Yeagle will come into the ball game, probably play the rest of the ball game. Thomas Hope out, and a standing ovation for the senior out of Midford. 11-point lead, the biggest lead for Wright State. Here's Bailey, the kick out. Parker, a 3-ball, that's no good. And Tyson Freeman, the rebound. He was fouled over the back, and he'll get a chance to shoot some.
Well, Tyson not to be denied. You know, and I've talked about it so many times. You become such a better basketball team when your guards rebound the ball. Your big guys are in there banging, but boy, when your guards come in and help, and you got guys with the bodies like Tyson Freeman, Joe Bills, Strong, Marcus Mays in that group, can get up off the floor and clean the glass. Boy, that really supports your big people.
Another man to exit, Shin Kerr. As Damian McSwine will enter this ball game.
Oh, and the Raiders have fouled out a 3rd player. You know, here late in the game, though, Loyola's really had to come after the Raiders. Tyson Freeman, boy, the Raiders just continue to wear the basket out from the free throw line.
Gets them both. Actually, Tice, Turkovic, and now Parker. Not Shin Kerr were the men to foul out of this ballgame as Joe Bills checks out. Takeaway, and here's Melson. He gives it up. Yeagle will handle. Shot clock turned off. He'll handle the ball himself.
Loyola just going to concede it at this point. No sense in shooting any more free throws and making it look worse than it is. And boy, what a great team win for the Raiders.
A tremendous effort. See you later. The kiss on the floor by Steve Yeagle. What a finish to this ball game. 84-71. A beautiful win, a comeback win for Wright State.
Well, you know, that's probably the best half of basketball that this team has played in a long time. Boy, it couldn't come at a greater time. Going into the conference tournament, you go in with a lot of confidence now. Boy, Ed Schilling and his staff have to be very, very happy. There you see the lone senior walking away with the game ball. Had a pretty good night himself.
And a nice moment for the senior out of Midford, Steve Yeagle. Wright State scored 56 points in the second half and we're out to the 13-point win. Mark and I will return and wrap it up in just a moment. (84-71) the final here at the Irvin J. Nutter Center. 56 second half points, Mark Fest, to pace the Wright State Raiders. They shot 48% from the field altogether, and a big night by the best twosome in the MCC, Israel Sheinfeld and Kevin Melson.
Well, no doubt about it. Israel with 3 at half, Kevin with 11. I'm sure Ed Schilling just went in the locker room and said, guys, this got to be a personal challenge here. We've got to come over and just take them out of the basketball game. And you know, you go from being down 7 at halftime to winning by 13. Great second half explosion.
Of course, it's not just the points, it's the little things, the rebounding, and of course the free throws.
Well, the free throws were excellent. The Raiders played great defense. Tyson Freeman coming in, shutting down David Bailey. You know, what else can you say? They came in, they did the things they had to do. They shot the ball very well. You mentioned at the free throw line, it wasn't a close one.
David Bailey, let's give the freshman out of Chicago some credit. 30 points. He had a spectacular night.
No doubt about it. You know, he took over the first half. In the first half, he was the only factor in the basketball game, and the Raiders had nothing to answer. But in the second half, Kevin Melson teaming up with Israel Sheinfeld, even David Bailey can't stop those two.
Wright State finishes the home season part of their schedule 11-3, and really, let's face it, you can't ask for anything more, especially out of a team this young.
Well, no, you can't. And going into the conference tournament, they're on a high right now. As we mentioned, probably the best half of basketball they've played in a long time, and you got to be very positive about their chances next weekend in Chicago.
Once again, a tremendous effort by Wright State. They come back down in the second half, come away with an 84-71 victory. And, of course, they wrap up the regular season 11-16. Just a tremendous effort.
Well, it really was. And it was a team effort. Steve Yeagle, nice to see him get a nice going-away party on senior night.
It certainly was. Once again, your final score at the Irvin J. Nutter Center. Wright State winners 84-71 in front of a crowd of 7,568. Thanks go out to our entire Time Warner crew. They were directed tonight by Bob Jones. So for a final time this season, for Marty Bannister, for Mark Vest, I'm Geoff Kim saying so long from David.